Hello, it's Dr. Edward, the Healing Vet, here for our weekly show where we talk about holistic pet health and well-being. So today I want to talk about reactive dogs. So I see a lot of reactive dogs at work when I'm working in the clinic, and they can be kind of scary. A reactive dog can be lunging, barking, showing very overt signs of aggression, hackles up, and they can be a bit of a worry when they come in to see me if I'm not on the end of the lead and the person's holding the dog. It's kind of scary. Reactive dogs are scary for people. If you get a reactive dog that comes rushing up to your dog, or is off lead and comes rushing up to your dog, aggressive, hackles up, and you know next thing there's a dog fight, or perhaps a dog that's reactive and coming towards you, that's not a really good place to be in. So if you have a reactive dog and you want to help them learn how to become calm, to turn off those triggers, to have an off switch, and you can do that. You can really help these dogs with intentional touch, with body work. I've helped a lot of owners of people help their dogs learn how to relax and be calmer with hands-on work, with body work. Some of them you see good improvement. We've seen a few that have completely recovered. Now, if you don't have a reactive dog and you want to know what to do when a reactive dog is interacting with you or you and your dogs, then there's some things that you can do to help with that too, which I'll talk a little bit about as we move into this video. So, reactive dogs are basically anxious dogs, and the reactivity, their behavior, is an expression of their anxiety or arousal level. So they get very triggered into extremely high levels of arousal, they cross the red line, their conscious brain turns off, they can't think, and then they become aggressive because they're in full fight, flight, reactivity mode. So, and hello to everyone who's watching out there. If you're watching, please say hello in the chat. Love to hear where you're from, what animals you have. Please do say hello. If you're watching on the replay, please also say hello in the chat because I'd love to meet you. So why do dogs become reactive? Reactivity can be triggered by other animals, other dogs. It can be triggered by, you know, if you're in a place where your dog can run the fence and they are running up and down the fence when the kids come home from school, that sort of thing. It could be men. A lot of dogs are reactive if they've been abused by men, or a man with a hat on, men with beards. The triggers will vary quite a bit from dog to dog. So why do dogs become reactive? Reactive dogs are nearly always afraid and painful dogs. Now, in nearly every case that I see of reactive, aggressive animals, when I get my hands on them, we find significant pain going on in their body. Part of the reason that they're reactive is that they're worried about being bumped, they're worried about being hurt. They've been bumped by the dogs in play and whatever, and it's really hurt, so their instinct is to try to protect themselves. And the only way that these reactive dogs have worked out that works is to bark, growl, snap, bite. That's their strategy. And, you know, nearly always when dogs show these signs of aggression, the other dog's going to back off, so it reinforces it. And a lot of other cases, reactive dogs are dogs that have been abused by humans or have been attacked and injured by another dog. Sometimes they can link up non-harmful stimuli to a stressful experience and then become reactive to strange things like the sound of the vacuum cleaner, the sound of the kettle boiling. So, you know, they might not get aggressive with that, but they will trigger into arousal. That's a really good question, Dottie. What about if your dog is reactive but not aggressive? My dog is overly excited knowing this is reactive, but he just wants attention and to play. So with dogs like that, again, the same, I'd encourage you to do the same thing, which is come along and learn how to do relaxing body work, then do lots of it with your dog, and you're likely to see some really good improvements. So other things that can contribute to dogs becoming reactive poor socialization when they're a puppy, poor genetic temperament. So temperament is very, very highly heritable. It's the most heritable trait of all. So if you've got one or both parents that are anxious or reactive, then the chances of having an anxious reactive puppy are a lot higher. So is there anyone watching out there who has a reactive dog apart from Dottie? Please chime in the comments, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. You can have dogs that will get sensitized to reactivity to an adverse incident happening during developmental fear periods. So there's these natural fear periods that dogs go through when they're quite young, and then they run around 6 to 9 to 12 months. They can have these natural fear periods, and if they have a bad interaction with another dog in that time, it can lead to reactivity. And Margaret says, thanks for acknowledging that reactivity is a result of arousal levels elevated beyond the threshold at which the dog can think and function. That is exactly what reactivity is. If you wanted to make a dictionary definition of reactivity in dogs, that's it. So other things that can contribute are humans who have poor boundaries and inadequate training skills can make things worse. So reactivity develops when a dog has a painful, fearful or stressful experience. This causes the dog to trigger into a high level of arousal, fight, flight. They feel threatened, and this is a survival response. Then if the other dog or person moves away, that's going to reinforce the reactive behavior. And that's why so many dogs are reactive with the postman, because they get all reactive and bark and growl at the postman goes away. Oh, I won, says the dog. I made the postman go away. And he goes off back inside feeling very, very self-important and happy with himself. So the intensity of that behavior is self-reinforcing and gets worse over time. And the key thing that reactive dogs go into is what I call hyperarousal. When you go across the red line of arousal, the front brain, the cortex turns off, and then your dog is not going to be able to listen to or respond to your communication anymore. So what can you do to help reactive dogs learn how to relax and be at peace? So let's start with how you can work with reactive dogs that belong to someone else. So you're out for a walk, your dog's on lead, and there's another dog that's reactive and off lead. Number one, never let your dog run up to another dog who's on lead. If you have a dog that's off lead, please don't let them run around unless you've got a good recall. Use a long lead, not one of those retractable ones that are dangerous, but a 5 meter one that you can loop up, a tape one. And talk to the other dog owner before you approach any dog. Always say, is your dog okay with my dog coming over to say hello? And if they say no, you go, awesome, I'll move out of the way then. Seriously, so many people have this sense of entitlement, that they feel like their dog should be able to run up to any other dog and have freedom to do whatever it likes. This is not good, not healthy. I encourage you not to let your dogs do that. If your dog races up to a reactive dog on lead, there might be a dog fight. Your dog could get severely injured, and then you could get severely injured when you're trying to break up the fight. Never stare directly into the eyes of any dog that seems anxious or aroused. It's very threatening to them. And also don't let your dog fixed stare at a reactive dog, right? Because this will escalate that other dog's arousal levels, and they might then flip it through the red line and go batso, crazy, aggressive. You don't want that to happen. If you're visiting a friend's dog who you know is reactive, be very calm, very slow, very deliberate in your movements. Never approach the dog, give them time and space to come to you, and do slow blinks, soft sleepy eyes, and yawn to that dog. These are all calming signals that will help. If a reactive dog has lost the plot, slowly and carefully move yourself and your dogs away from them. Keep an eye on the situation. Keep watching them in the corner of your eye as you move away. Never turn your back, but slowly and calmly move out of their trigger zone. When you get a certain distance away, usually they will start to settle down. Now, if you own a reactive dog, there's a hell of a lot you can do. Number one is learn how to train your dog effectively. Never, ever, 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 ever use aversive training techniques like shock collars or snapping on a neck chain, as this will increase arousal levels and make things worse over time. So you want to use positive reinforcement, kindness, and you want to do a lot of calming stuff like nose work and not doing too much high arousal, high impact play, because that'll all move your dog more and more into an arousal bias. Learn how to train your dog into healthy relaxation with body work. So I have created and teach the whole energy body balance method, which I have helped heaps of people help their reactive dogs learn how to switch off and be calm. And this is a really beautiful thing to do for your animals. This body work, there's a couple of particular body work skills that I've unearthed through working with tens of thousands of dogs over many, many years that cause a really strong body level relaxation response. And if you do this for long enough, you literally train your reactive dog how to relax into a calm state. Find out if your dog has silent pain, neck, back or body pain. 53% of pets have significant pain that the humans can't see. So in the web online work, you also learn how to feel into the body and find this hidden pain and how to melt that pain away with healing body work. I nearly always find that reactive dogs have significant pain, often that their humans don't know is there. Don't flood your dog, your reactive dog. Don't ever. It's never, ever, ever a good idea to purposefully trigger a reactive dog with stimulus that they find fearful. Better to avoid situations that cause a problem. And if you are going to go anywhere where the dog may get triggered, try to stay at a distance where your dog can settle, and then very slowly close that distance over time as the dog learns that they're not going to get harmed. You can combine this strategy with the relaxing hands-on work. And keep you cool. Your dog is afraid and painful. They're not a bad dog, they're not a naughty dog. When they're reactive, they simply don't have the ability to respond to your commands. Their brain has turned off. So then don't punish them for being in such a state of fear and arousal that they can't literally hear what you're saying. If nothing's working, seek help from appropriate professionals. Some reactive dogs may need prescription medication to help them in the retraining period. Now, prescription meds are not my first go-to, but some dogs, they are very beneficial and may be a lifesaver. And have a vet check, blood tests. Make sure there's no underlying health issues contributing to the problem. And Marguerite says, reactivity, like many pattern behaviours, develops and escalates through rehearsal of behaviour, which thankfully we can often prevent through management. While we build the dog's confidence, help them learn calmness, and this is where the body work really, really helps, because even when they're triggered, you can bring them out of arousal into relaxation with the body work. So it's a whole new way of actually helping reactive dogs learn how to be calm in the face of triggers. You can rehabilitate reactive dogs. It's not a short and easy road, but if you're devoted and determined, it absolutely can be done. You will need to learn new skills. It will be challenging, but the rewards are very much worth it. Okay, that's it for this week. Thanks everyone for saying hello on this call. All of you commented, and Janet says, my veterinarian gave my fearful dog Xanax for fireworks and thunderstorms. Janet, I really strongly encourage you to contact me so that I can teach you how to help your dog relax with body work during thunderstorms. I've helped my own thunderphobic dog heaps, and I've taught heaps of other people how to help their dogs relax through thunderstorms with loving touch. Okay, thanks for being here. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much.